Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 most anticipated games of 2022, which was a viewer request by my friend Nuke, who also wanted me to do a video ranking my top 10 games of 2021. But I was looking through, my backlog of games and what I've actually played, and it turns out I've only played 10 games this past year, and only 4 of which released in 2021. So, if you want, I can rank these games, do a separate video ranking the games that I played. Of these 10, I beat 7 of them, 2 I gave up on, and 1 I'm currently playing through, which is Bravely Default 2, which is fantastic. If you're into JRPGs, this is like old school, reminds you of Final Fantasy V with the job system. It's so much fun, man. I love it. The music's great, too. And when you go into a battle, like a random encounter, it sort of sounds like old school Final Fantasy music. Like the initial hook of the song sounds like the Final Fantasy battle theme. But yeah, if you want, I can do a video ranking these games. I have separate videos on the channel of some of them, like Dragon Quest XI, Final Fantasy X, Tales of Arise. Of course, we did the Let's Play of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So if you want, I can do that video for next week. But in today's video, I'm going to be ranking, my top 10 most anticipated games of 2022. Some of these have definitive release dates, some of which are just like, oh, they're coming out in 2022, and they're also games that have been delayed quite a few times. So, get your comments ready. You can guess which one I'm going to have at the top, because this is going to be a definitive ranking of what I'm most excited for. And it's my personal list. So right off the bat, I'll just tell you, there's no Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, because I thought Breath of the Wild 1 sucked. I don't like open world games in that extent. Horizon, that game's not going to be on here. God of War is not going to be on here. It's strictly going to be like JRPGs and games like that. So without further ado, let's get to the list. Starting, I have 10, and I have an honorable mention. So I'll start with the honorable mention, and that is Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, which is supposedly releasing in 2022, although it's been delayed quite a few times. I think this is from Warner Brothers Games. Of course, they have the license to the movies, don't they? And I was a big fan of Harry Potter way back when. I read the books, of course. I watched the movies. Always prefer the books to the movies. But the third movie is always the best, in my opinion, The Prisoner of Azkaban. But, this is supposed to be like a RPG where you pick not your class, but what do they call it? Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, the dorms that all the kids are a part of. You pick that, and I guess if you're Gryffindor, you're good. If you're Slytherin, you're bad. And you sort of go about the game that way. And I don't know. It always seemed kind of interesting, but it's been delayed so many times that I don't really know how excited I am anymore. That's why it's just an honorable mention and something to keep an eye out on. So, for number 10, we have Elden Ring, which is releasing in February, I think the end of February, on every console except for the Switch, even the PS4, so, I'm still in luck. Most of these games are still releasing on the PS4, I do believe, so that's pretty cool for the people who don't have the PS5 quite yet. But yeah, this is from Bandai Namco, and it's been in development for quite a while. If you've seen any of the gameplay footage, it looks spectacular. I think it's an open world game, so I'm kind of contradicting myself, because in the beginning I said I don't really care for the open world game of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but that's beside the point. It looks pretty cool, although I have it at number 10 because I'm sort of just at a wait-and-see mode. I want to see reviews and what people say about it before I actually buy it. Obviously, I'm not going to pre-order it, but it's got to be on number 10 just because of how cool it looks and the potential it has. And I do believe George R.R. Martin is involved, the guy from Game of Thrones. I think he has something to do with the story, so that's interesting. So moving on to number 9, this might be a little controversial, but we have Star Ocean: The Divine Force, which says coming 2022 because, well, they don't have a definitive release date. Although in the top left, you see the 25th anniversary. And I do know the Star Ocean games have been rather terrible as of late. So, I'm cautiously optimistic with this one. We'll wait and see what happens. If you look at the trailer looks okay. It's coming out on all the consoles except for the Switch because I guess the Switch can't handle anything. But, yeah, Star Ocean, hopefully it can redeem itself, right? So that's why we have it on the list. Now, moving to number 8, we have Lord of the Rings, Gollum. This is another game similar to the Harry Potter one that's been delayed a few times. Although we have seen a trailer for this, and I wonder if they're going to release it now, because isn't that Lord of the Rings Amazon series coming out shortly, or they're filming that or whatever, so they'll put this game out to hype that series up, I would guess. It looks pretty cool. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, the initial trilogy, will still always be probably the best trilogy of all time. Even the Hobbit trilogy is good in my opinion. The first 2 movies are amazing. The third movie, not so much. But, yeah, this is interesting. You know, it looks cool if you've seen the trailer, and you get to control Gollum in like a stealthy environment. So I'll wait and see about that. Now for number 7, we have Dot Hack GU Last Recode, which is a remaster for the Nintendo Switch that has 3 of the Dot Hack GU games from the PS2. And this game actually re-released as a remaster on the PS4, and I want to say 2017. But Bandai Namco has this little thing going on. They're re-releasing it on the Switch. And if you get in early, I think if you pre-order it, you get a over 100-page art book and all sorts of extras. I think some DLC, too, if that's even possible. Maybe like some different skins for your characters. I don't know if I read it right. But, you know, what should I do with this game? Because this is coming out in March. And I'm debating, because I've never played any of the Dot Hack games. I've always been interested in them, but never played them. This game is on the PS4, so I can go look for an older copy on the PS4, or it's probably even available as a digital download on the PS4, or I can just buy it brand new for the Switch and get the art book. So let me know what you guys think I should do with that. I'm very interested in this series. It looks pretty cool. It's almost like a single-player MMO type game, so that's on the list for sure. Next up at number 6, again, contradicting myself with open world games, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is coming out later this month, I think the 28th in January. So this will be interesting to say the least. It's an open world Pokemon game with Cyndaquil as one of the starters, which if you know anything about me, Cyndaquil is my favorite Pokemon. Gotta love the Johto region. My favorite games are Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So looking forward to see what happens with this. I don't think I'm going to buy it right out of the gate just because I just played and bought Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, which is pretty crazy because those games, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, just came out in November, so it's only a few months later and they're releasing another big AAA Pokemon game. That seems kind of crazy to me, but it's coming out there. It's going to be open world. Apparently, it's like set in the distant past of the Sinnoh region, if I'm not mistaken, so, you know, we'll wait and see with this one, but I'm definitely optimistic about it and going to watch reviews and make my decision with that and hopefully wait for a sale or something. So coming in at number 5, we have Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which just out of the blue, I saw the trailer for this on YouTube and I clicked it. You see the art style right there is very reminiscent of the Tales games. It looks fantastic, man. It's like a action RPG, very similar to the Tales games. You're traveling from island to island, and you know the different characters there. You see in the front, you have the dude in the middle. It looks like a knight, and then the other chick looks like a knight, and then the other girl over there with the blue hair, maybe like a wizard. But there's another guy back there. I think it's the guy with the eye patch. He has like a gun. So they have all sorts of cool weapons. There's like a dragon floating over there. It's just, you know, it looks like an action RPG. Well, it is an action RPG, but Grand Blue Fantasy, you know, fantasy elements. Looks pretty awesome if you ask me. And I think it came from a mobile game, and this is like the first time it's going to be a console version. It's coming out on all the consoles, of course, except for the Switch. So look forward to that. It's coming out in 2022. No definitive release date quite yet, but just look up the trailer and I think you'll be impressed. So coming in at number 4, we have Project Eve, which is another game coming out, I think strictly for the PS5, a Sony exclusive from a South Korean publisher, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, I was hooked right as soon as I saw the trailer and this chick right here. Is that Eve? And it reminds me of like the Nier games. It's like an action RPG similar to that. It has a killer soundtrack, fighting like these monsters, almost like aliens. Check out the trailer for that again. And goddamn, I was still just seeing the waifu right there. So now for the top 3. Number 3, we have Digimon Survive, which this game should have came out back in like 2018. How many times has it been delayed? It's unbelievable, man. But supposedly we're finally going to get it in 2022. It's a tactical RPG. Looks great. You know, our main character with the goggles there, reminiscent of Ty and Davis and all the others, gets trapped into the digital world. There's an Agumon there. Looks like a whole lot of fun. So can't wait for Digimon Survive. Next up at number 2, we have Triangle Strategy for the Nintendo Switch, which is coming out in March. And again, another tactical, there's a theme here for a lot of tactical games, but a tactical RPG from the same creators as Octopath Traveler. I think Square Enix is involved as well. And I played the demo for this. The demo, I think, is still available on the Switch. It's like 5 hours long. They call it Triangle Strategy, which is a stupid-ass name, but there's 3 different paths you can go. You can go the path of the hero, you can go the path of the villain, and I guess you can go down the middle. And your choices in the game have consequences, like characters will die, characters will join your party, characters will leave your party. and you saw that if you played the demo. It looks great. There's a lot of terrain effects, so it's similar to that of Disgaea in a certain sense, and looks like a whole lot of fun. I'm going to get it at launch for sure, coming out in March. And then for number 1, you guys probably guessed this one, but we have our boy Jack, Stranger Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, which I'm not even doing this for the meme, man. I'm really excited for this game. I think it looks great. Looking at the gameplay, looking at the trailer, it was sort of joked on when it first came out because of the Chaos cut. I want to kill Chaos. I have to destroy Chaos. And the graphics kind of looked like PS3 tier and reskins. Like, you know, the one dude looked like Prompto. The other guy looked like a mixture of Saz and Barrett. And then our main guy, Jack, looks like Core, but with blonde hair, you know, from Final Fantasy 15. But, you know, just looking at it, it looks pretty good. I was looking at the voice cast because they actually have Christopher Sabat is voicing Garland, which is crazy. And then Shirami Lee, who voices Lucy and Asuna from, you know, Fairy Tail and Sword Art Online, is voicing the princess. So they got some pretty good voice actors already. The gameplay looks great. You know, I'm looking forward to that without a doubt. Not even for the meme, man. I really am looking forward to it. So that was my list. Let me know what you guys thought. If you have lists that compare what games you're looking forward to. Like I said, it's mostly like RPGs, JRPGs, turn-based games, things of that nature. But it's my list. It's not like the mainstream, like, you know, everyone probably have Breath of the Wild and God of War and all those games. But I don't really give a shit about those games. They don't interest me in my opinion. So let me know what you guys thought. Leave some comments down below and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Also, let me know if you guys want to see this video of me ranking these games. You know, the games I beat. I just want to show you this, too, real quick with Langrisser. The art on the cover is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. This is the reverse cover, by the way, because, you know, the initial cover, well, it's good. It's just not as good as the reverse cover that they gave you. Absolutely gorgeous. So, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you. Have a great day, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.